cost reduction almost without investments. My name is Uwe Steinkoetter, and I will give you an insight how we can support you systematically and focused in cost reduction in factories as well as in international production networks. The COVID-19 crisis have a large impact on all manufacturing companies. You see here that the production index has decreased significantly. And as we have seen here from other crises before, it takes a long time to recover out of that. But companies that deploy sustainable cost reduction programs will emerge from crisis as strong and profitable winners. I will demonstrate you how we do cost reduction in unit costs of more than 20% in an international production network with more than 10 plants across the globe in Europe, America, and Asia. And also how we do then more than 70 workshops, cost reduction workshops across that leads to over 1,000 of projects in that. That is really a systematic approach we use. We call it a four-step approach. I will show you this four-step approach now. The first step is a clear definition of targets on all levels, like on business units, plants, and even value streams and machines. The second step is to identify the cost drivers here to guarantee a focused approach. Third step is to work out concrete measures, of course, to implement them. Finally, the differentiation of that cost measures is very important. And of course, we need to keep focus on the full utilization of that potential. So some technical problems, sorry for that. Coming to the second step of our four-step approach, the definition of the focus areas. So in this case, you see there are three major focus areas we identified there. One is the productivity. The second one is maintenance. And the third one is energy costs, where my colleague Thies will present you later on certain insights from our Bosch journey here. I think it's very important to see that a clear definition of that cost drivers, to drill it down by a KPI tree, is a key essential to be more concrete and focused and to give guidance to the respective areas and drill it down. In the third step, it is very important to work out that clear measures in a very diverse team, from operators level up to supervisor level, and to bring also in fresh eye view. The analysis of all relevant data is key for it to make it very concrete. So that is very important that measures needs to be prioritized then afterwards. And then bring it into life to work out concrete project programs and to keep eye on that and work on that very systematically. To give you one or two examples now, here you can see a process where we have a machine where we have very long changeover times. We identified it by our four-step approach, that this is a bottleneck machine. And the changeover time was more than 88 minutes downtime. We paralyzed a lot of process steps, of course, and we also eliminated a lot of process steps. But there was one important step that was the heating of the tooling in the machine itself. That takes a long time. So we reduced it by warming up the tool in the machine before. And by all of that measures, we could reduce the downtime by 62%. And that means 33 minutes only instead of 88. That in all makes a 5% increase per day and a cost reduction over the year from 350,000 euros. The next example I would like to give you, my colleague Niels already mentioned. And here we use the Nexceed industrial application system for the optimization. Here we could reduce from 3 very static milk runs in a very good lean optimized factory, come down to 2 dynamic milk runs. And we could reduce 1 complete milk run. By that example, we use that artificial intelligence we already mentioned for that. And by the dynamicization means different stops, different planning algorithms behind that, we could increase the efficiency by 15%. And we also could reduce the costs by more than 290,000 euros per year. That are 2 very concrete examples. And now I want to come back to the 4-step approach and show you what we do in the 4th step of cost reduction. So in the 4th step, we do really a clear target-oriented visualization of tracking and reporting. So we use normally 2 different styles of reporting. This one you can see is the so-called PDCA chart, where we cumulate all the important top measures for a management review. And we have on each measure level, it's more for the people who work on that, an A3 chart to keep the focus on the concrete steps to go forward. The communication is very important so that all stakeholders know where they are and that there is still focus on that cost measures. So that it's very important to have a systematic approach to bring that step by step. Last, to come to the summary, systematic cost reduction is good for the long-term profitability, and it also supports crisis resilience, as Sven already mentioned in the first keynote speech. The derivation and the clear approach and management focus ensures the effectiveness of cost reduction optimization. Third, the diverse teams are key to find the measures and really to bring it into life. And last but not least, transparency and target orientation helps to reach the target. This was a very short insight how we can support cost optimization as Bosch Industry Consulting. And I'm very happy to stay in touch with you and may support the one or each other on your journey to cost optimization. And I'm happy now to answer your questions and maybe also later on in the chat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Uwe Steinkoetter, for this interesting talk. And I think right now, in terms of crisis, in times of lockdown, people are even more sensitive to costs. So I think you picked a very actual, very interesting topic. Coming to questions from the audience right now. And the first one is, since when have you been using the 4-step approach and which benefits has it brought with Bosch facilities?
Yeah, we used that 4-step approach since 2014, and as you have seen, just for one international production network, they're coming out 20% of the product costs, of the production costs. I think we have similar examples, but it's always round about, let's say, from 70% to 25, 28%. That's the range. The only thing is you have to go systematically, step by step in the different units and identify that. So the approach is the important one, to make it consistent and, as mentioned, to run through all of the 4 steps.
Interesting, thank you. And the next question is, do you also partner with other consulting firms, or is this a Bosch-only offer?
This concrete process is a Bosch offer, but of course we partner a lot with other consulting firms. We make many projects together with Bain & Company, which is a very good consulting partner from us, but we have also own offers.
Great. And the last question here that I got from the audience is, would you mind telling us a little bit about your favorite cost optimization project so far?
Yeah, we did it with an Asian electric manufacturing company. And it was a cultural issue. There was, in the beginning, very much a cultural barrier because we come with German approaches, which was very successful in Bosch, and we have to adapt it to a different culture and adapt. And it was a co-creation we do with them. The tools, of course, worked quite well, but the implementation was a different one because you cannot bring the complete groups together like we do it on the shop floor, combine supervisors with operators. So we have to bring them ideas differently, bring them into small groups so that the supervisor in the end communicate it to us. I think to differentiate the approach, but to come out with a similar result. That was a challenge, but a very interesting challenge for us.